뭐야? 이쪽 방향으로 열리는 거면은 문 두드릴 필요도 없었는데? 아니 문이 이쪽 방향으로 당겨서 여는 거였으면 그냥 당긴 다음에 책상 밀면 되잖아. 왜 두드린 거임? 자, 주의사항. 해당 게임은 공포게임이 아니면 전체 이용가가 아닙니다. 슬레이더 프린세스는 관감인석 발장과 드문 경우 멸미를 유발할 수 있는 특수효과를 포함하고 있습니다. 문제가 발생하는 경우 설정에서 해당 효과를 끄십시오. 어두운 곳에서 어떤 두려움을 마주하게 되더라도 부디 따뜻한 마음을 가지고 들여다보아주세요. 잘못된 엔딩은 없습니다. 잘못된 선택도 없습니다. 오직 새로운 관점과 새로운 시작만이 존재합니다. 이것은 사랑에 관한 이야기입니다. 오. 자, 오늘의 게임은 슬레이더 프린세스
성인 걸어야 해요.
공주 죽이기 게임입니다. 저 그리고 화장실 좀 갔다 올게요.
엄매 깜짝아.
화장실 가자마자 왜 이러는 건데요? 이러시는 이유가 있을 거 아니에요.
방금 뭐 나왔어?
이야 타이밍.
방금 뭐 나왔어요? 자, 한번 가보도록 하겠습니다. 챕터 1
타이밍 뭐야?
공주와 영웅. 오, 더빙도 있네.
But at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
오, 막 화면도 움직여.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end
갬소리
of the
좀만
world.
키워주십쇼.
공주를 무조건 죽여야 돼? 됐어. 난 안 할래. 안 할 수도 있어? 안 할래.
Are you serious? No, you have to do it.
해야만 돼? 근데 내가 세상에 끝장난다 해도 신경 쓰지 않을 거라는 가능성은 생각 안 해봤어?
성향도
Of course
나오죠.
I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end.
멸망을 원하는 사람도 있어.
I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists or very, very evil people. Surely you're not one of those, right?
그럼 공주를 꼭 내가 죽여야 되는 거야? 일단 탐색을 한 다음에 행동을 하는 그런 게임인가 보네요. 그죠? 일단 좀 얘기를 좀 나눠보자. 아무리 그래도 공주를 죽이다니 너무 심하지 않아? 보상은 없어?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
알았어. 그럼 죽이러 가야겠대. 죽이러 무조건 가야 되는 것 같아. 그죠? 가보자 그럼.
Good. As long as you remain focused on your goal, it should all be smooth sailing. You make your way up
여기
the
공주가
short
있는 거야?
path to the cabin.
공주
The
맞아?
princess within.
공주가 이런 데 있어? 그냥 산장 주인인 것 같은데? 펜션 주인 아니야?
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
네가 거짓말하는 건지는 어떻게 알아?
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay
주인공도
them.
말을 하네?
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
일단 오두막 들어가 볼까요? 뭐 그냥 펜션 같은데? 공주가 있는 데가 아니라 뭔가 낯설
The
영자님
interior
있을
of
것
the cabin
같은데?
is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table.
옆에
Perched on
등대 하나
that table
세우면 딱일 것
is a
같은데.
pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
일단 칼 챙겨. 칼
You take the
챙기고
blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
자, 가볼까요? 공주 죽이러. 공주야, 내가 간다.
The door to the basement creaks
마우스
open,
포인트에 칼 생겼어.
revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the
쾌척 소린
stairs.
크고 게임 소린 작아요 뿌잉.
쾌척 소리가 줄일 수가 없어가지고 이게 다 같이 가거든요. 지금 게임 소리 이게 최고입니다.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
일단 이거에 대답하지 말고 내려가 볼게요. 나의 목표는 일단 공주를 죽이는 거니까. 안녕, 널 죽이러 왔는데 해보고 싶기도 하다. 대화를 좀 해볼까? 이거 완전 민지인데? 아니야, 진지하게 일단 내려가 볼게요.
Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk downstairs.
묶여있네, 완전.
Lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
옷은 진짜 공주같이 입었네.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
주인공 반했다 벌써.
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
대화를 하면은 죽이기 힘들 것 같은데 얘 말 듣고 또 죽이기도 그래. 얘기를 해보자. 널 죽이러 왔어.
That isn't a good idea. Just drop the knife, and maybe the two of us can talk things out.
대화를 시도하네.
She's right, we shouldn't. We should just drop the blade. Don't you dare.
누구 말을 믿어야 돼?
It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
선바님, 아까 선바님 안 계실 때 저 여자가 우리 막 노려보고 무섭게 굴었어요. 혼내주세요.
그러면은
민지식 대화를 하려면 저장 히
얘기를 해봐야겠는데?
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious
한숨 쉰다 얘.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
나 지금 속는 건가? 뭔가 가까이서 보니까 좀 무서운데? 칼 다시 가지고 와야 될 것 같은데?
Unarmed.
사일러스 아니야?
We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
이 사람 자꾸 한숨 쉬어. 내가 그렇게
So
잘못했나?
here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
내가 왜 널 죽이러 온 건지 알아?
Do you?
나 몰라. 네가 세상을 멸망시킬 거래.
Don't just tell her that.
그거 알려주면 안 돼?
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think.
그래?
I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
얼마나? 오래 있는데 옷을 이렇게 입고 있어? 방금 갇힌 줄?
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
네가 알려줬으면 좋겠는데?
Ending the world seems like an awful lot for just one person to do. I wouldn't even know where to
얘가
start.
어떻게 세상을 멸망시킨다는 거야?
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of.
너의 말이 이치가 안 닿잖아, 해설자야. 어?
그런데
At the
이분
end of the
밥이랑
day,
화장실은
whatever the
어떻게
two of us have
해결하시려고요?
going on down here is about trust.
그럼 그냥 여기다가 밑에다 숨겨놓은 거 아닐까요?
Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world. but they didn't tell you why. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
그 얘기를 해봐야지.
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust.
뭘 알아야 믿지. 어떻게 그냥 믿어.
So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
해설자가 나한테 좀 설명을 잘해줬으면은 내가 좀 고민 안 할 텐데 지금 정보가 너무 없다, 그죠?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less.
너 이름이 뭐니?
She hesitates before answering.
이름을 왜 바로 대답을 안 해?
You can address me as your
그녀는
royal
검정인가?
highness, or her majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
이름이 뭔지 왜 말 안 해?
Again, she offers no
해설자가
specifics.
벤담인가요?
No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
날 지금 유혹하는 거야? 날 유혹하는 거야?
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
너 어떻게 해야 여기서 나갈 수 있지?
You can't. Don't bother.
그래?
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere.
예,
around here.
뭘까? 왜 갇혀 있는 걸까? 어떻게 세계를 멸망시킨다고?
Well, we can always put that knife to good use.
너 얼굴이 무서워가지고 내보내주고 싶지 않네?
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right?
팔을 잘라달라는 거야?
She is. I'm sure of it.
팔을 잘라달라는 거야 지금? 여기 얼마나 오래 있었지?
Too long.
얼마나? 제대로 얘도 대답을 하나도 안 해줘요. 이름도 말 안 해주고 얼마나 있었는지도 말 안 해주고 구체적인 정보 하나도 안 줘서 좀 열받네. 공주야 너 죽을래?
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
그냥 죽이면 게임 끝나나? 공주야 너 목숨을 걸린 인터뷰인데 너무 대충 했어. 죽어라.
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through.
오 뭐야 이거 자세 뭐야?
A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to
내가
sink
맞았어?
your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your face.
중요한
오,
거
내가
하나도
맞았어?
말 안 해주고 알아서 하길 바라는 거 쓰름
Feels
같아서
like you've been
킹받음.
hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding.
아니 뭐야 얘 싸움을 잘하네?
Holy shit, that hurts. Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing.
동등한 거 맞아? 나는 맞고 아니 여기 갇혀 있잖아 얘는.
Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit. We can still turn this around.
이것이 말로만 듣던 은둔고수?
아니 여기서만인데 얘 어떻게 강하지? 진짜 세계를 멸망시킬 그런 공주 아니야? 마우스 포인터 끝에 피 묻었어.
주인공이 셀 주니어인가요?
자 우리 끝까지 마무리해.
영웅은 옆에서
You and the
뭐함?
princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally
아니,
exhausted.
잠깐만 내 손이 왜
You won't make
주먹을
it out of
듯한
here
거는
alive, but you can at least make sure that she won't make it out of here either.
아 주인공이 몬스터인가? 주인공이 몬스터 쪽 사람인가 보다. 그래가지고 공주가 자기네 나라로 돌아가면은 그 왕 시켜가지고 몬스터들 토벌할 거라 가지고 공주를 죽여야 되는 건가? 손이 그죠? 손톱이랑 이 손등이랑 몬스터의 것인데?
Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state
공주랑
the facts of
용사랑
the situation.
겸직인가?
Honestly, it's a
근데 싸움은 왜 잘하지?
still standing right now.
칼에 맞고도 멀쩡하게 서가지고 똑바로 서서 내려다보고 있는데?
Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself,
야, 맨손으로
finish
그냥
the
죽여버린다고?
job.
고렘 몽크였네.
The two of
Whoa.
them clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
공주 사쿠라네.
Oh,
The two of you fall to the floor.
this was fun.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
But you don't have time to worry over such
공주가
things.
제대로 자기 변호 안 할
Everything goes
만하네요.
dark,
이길
and you
자신이
die.
있었던 거임.
챕터 2로 넘어가네? 끝나는 게
On
아니야?
a path in the woods. And at the end of that path
1500초
is a
안에
cabin.
죽였어야지.
And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
뭐야,
If you
나
don't,
다른 애인 거야?
it will be the
아니면은
end of the world.
다시 돌아온 건가? 또 타임리프를 하는 건가? 자, 난 하지만 이미 공주를 죽였는데?
I can assure you that you didn't slay her and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time.
처음 만난다고? 공주 칼집이 있나 없나를 가서 보면 되나?
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. That's fine. It doesn't matter if he can hear us. The only thing that matters is marching up to that cabin and
이번에는 또 다른 동료가 있나 보네?
that's the spirit. There's no point in squabbling when the real threat is just up that hill.
자, 일단 오두막 가볼까?
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Lying and cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of a
전문
fight.
파이터를 데리고 왔네?
Are you sure about that?
The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is capable of lying in. The princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there. So don't trust her. Ever. Are we clear? Crystal. Let's just get on with it already.
The cabin is tighter than its
아까랑 좀
exterior
달라졌는데?
suggests. Its cold stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this
뭔가
right.
우리가 세게 나갈수록 공주의 이 처소도 점점 단단해지고 든든해지는 건가? 거울을 한번 봐볼까?
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall.
왜 거울 못
It's a
보게
place
해?
to see here.
내 얼굴 보면 안 되는 이유라도 있어?
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
거울 닦아서 얼굴
You
봐봐.
reach forward and rub your
그죠?
hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
확실히 주인공은 뭔가 괴물 쪽인 것 같은데?
But there was a mirror a second ago.
거울 어디 갔어?
And now it's gone. So all of us can stop arguing about it and get to fighting.
자, 칼 들고 가지 말자.
No knife this time. Right then, fisticuffs it is.
대화해보자.
Probably more fair to her anyway.
공주를 믿어보자 그러면.
As long as you can still get the job done. And don't forget that the blade is waiting for you upstairs if you happen to change your mind. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend.
아까랑 좀 달라.
The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulfuric odor to
뭔가
it.
공주도 더 강해졌을 것
Her
같은데?
fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
공주 인격이 좀 변했는데요? 마왕처럼 됐는데?
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is a little deeper, almost threatening. Good. Sounds like my kind of princess. As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight. As you descend the final step,
뭐야?
the form of the princess
오,
comes into view,
뒤에 꼬리가 달려있는데?
leading from her wrist to the basement wall.
뭐야 왜 갑자기 티플링이 됐어?
Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I'd been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't
아
stay
내가 처음에 죽여가지고 이렇게 강해진 건가?
너 죽을래?
너 죽을래?
But no little knife this time, huh?
이 글씨가 빨간색인 거면은 지금 증후군 좀 올라온 건가?
No.
대화가 안
I
되나?
hope you're not just here to chat. I've been itching for a rematch.
나는 대화하러 왔는데 이번에는 맞짱 뜨고 싶어하네. 역시 날 기억하네.
No, I remember you all right. Best 3 minutes of my life. So, why don't we do it again? Or are you scared I'm going to put you down for good this time?
All right, fine. I believe you. What? What you said earlier in the woods, I believe you. You've already met the princess, and the princess has already met you. That's all the more reason to take this seriously. You don't know that whatever brought the two of you back to life isn't a fluke. And beyond that, do you know who doesn't remember anything that happened last time? Me. I don't remember. Are you okay? Of course I'm not okay. As far as we're all concerned, the fate of my world is still very much on the line. Not all of us have the luxury of jumping over to a parallel universe the second we die.
자, 얘 해설자랑은 대화 안 하고 침묵하겠습니다.
Take that silence as a sign that from this moment on, you're going to treat
아, 그냥 무시한 건데.
with the utmost importance and seriousness. I'm so glad that we're finally all on the same page.
자, 싸울까 그냥? 아니면 떠날까? 할 수 있는 선택지가 좀 많네요. 사실 나는 일단 대화만 하러 온 거야. 진짜 무슨 일인지 나 모르겠어 지금.
Haven't we talked enough? Do you really have anything else to say? Or are you just stalling because you're scared I'm going to kill you again?
나는 사실 널 풀어주러 왔어.
선제권
Free
1.
her? You aren't. I don't know why I'm even bothering, to be honest. You know the stakes of the situation.
Who says I want to be free?
나가고 싶지가 않아? 진심이야?
Yeah, I'm fine right where I am.
Okay, hold on. Did you hear that? Maybe we don't have to do anything. If she's fine where she is, maybe...
As long as you go back upstairs, pick up that knife, and fight me to the death.
왜 전투광이 돼버렸지?
Never mind.
채팅이랑 템
There is
밑으로
no
내려줄 수
happy
있나요?
ending where everyone makes it out of this place alive. You either deal with her here, right now,
채팅이
or
공주
she'll
말 많이
eventually find her way
가리는데
out.
크기 줄이거나
Whether
위치
she
이동
even wants to
어떤가요?
leave is hardly relevant. This
크기를 좀
cabin
줄일게요.
won't
이거
last
위치
forever.
이동해도
Hear that? Between him and her, that should be all the motivation you need. Now pick up the blade and fight her. No, pick up the blade and slay her.
You're being a bit semantic, aren't you?
I am, but it's an important distinction. If you're going to see this through, you need to hold the right intent. This isn't a sparring match. It is a lethal confrontation that will decide the future of everything. Fine. As long as it leads to a fight, do whatever he just said.
자, 우리가 왜 살아있는지 이거 의문점을 좀 해결해야 될 것 같은데.
What is there to unpack? I was dead and now I'm not, and the same goes for you. There. Unpacking.
뭐 물어봐도 협조를 안 해줘. 그냥 죽을래?
Don't you get it? We've been given free reign to wail on each other.
평생 싸운다고?
Couldn't have said it better myself.
별로? 그럼 이렇게 된 거 단검 가지러 올라가서 싸울까? 너 왜 악마가 된 거야? 왜 달라진 거야?
Aside from your empty hands, you look exactly the same.
난 그대로야? 자, 나는 악마녀와 싸울 생각 없어. 안녕.
Oh, you've got another thing coming if you think you can just turn around and leave.
못 가?
As you step towards the stairs, you hear the heavy
저거 우지끈 해가지고 그냥 뜯어내버리나?
You have to make a decision and you have to make it fast.
잠깐만. 도망쳐.
You do your best to
도망쳐!
sprint down the stairs before the princess can reach you.
아니 무슨 공주야 도대체?
Feel her steamy breath on the back of your neck, but you manage just barely to throw yourself over the threshold and slam the heavy stone doors behind you. You're safe, if only for a moment.
저 문 그냥 뚫고 나올 것 같은데?
Take the blade from the altar.
단검은 들지 않아. 괜찮아.
Are you sure about that?
Do you think this door is enough to hold me? You're not getting out of this.
아니 애초에 gat혀 있는 게 아니었잖아. 저렇게 바로 튀어나올 수 있는 거면은.
I'm getting the fight I
공포에
want.
주먹이 쫓아온다 도망차.
오,
Shakes.
깜짝이야.
The princess throws herself against the
파이터야
basement
네가 좀
door.
싸워라. 시키지 말고.
It's huge and made of stone. We're fine.
공격하고
Right.
죽인다.
If we had a weapon, we'd be fine.
넌 싸움꾼이면서 좀 싸워라.
Yes, you should probably pick up the blade, shouldn't you? I know, I'd feel a lot safer with it.
와호!
Impact shakes the cabin, a massive gash splitting its way up the stone doors. She comes.
야씨.
Explode outwards.
키가 왜 이렇게 커? 문보다
The
큰데?
princess emerges from the basement.
After everything we've been through, I can't believe this is going to end with you cowering in a corner. You're pathetic.
We're doomed.
위드.
공주님 그거
In a fit
당기는
of violence,
문이었어요.
The princess explodes across the room and closes the gap between.
날아오나요?
She is
또 맞아! 때리지 마! 때리지 마!
pain, igniting nerves you didn't know you even had. Your skin bruising and splitting and bleeding as
때리지 마!
rain down relentlessly.
참 내용이 동료가 봐도 그냥 다중인격인 거 아님? 공주도 한 사람과만 대화하는
Your
걸로
body has its
보이는데?
limits, and she has found them. I hate this.
너는 뭐
Body is
도와주고
shaped as a
있어?
pulp. Her fingers wrap around what's left of your neck.
진짜 다중인격인가?
You disgust me.
You hear a snap. Everything goes dark.
싸움이라도 할 걸 그랬나? 뭔가 모든 선택이 다 이렇게 잘못된 것 같지? 경로.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that
여기
path,
왜 이래?
all right, change of plans. We're taking the blade this time, and we're not hiding upstairs.
Who cares about the blade? If we had a chance against her, we already missed it, didn't we? She got stronger, and we stayed the same.
다 너야?
We've seen her bleed. Whatever she is, she started out mortal, which means she probably is still mortal, which means we can win. We just didn't take things seriously enough last time.
여기 근데 땅이 이상해졌는데?
If that's what you want, then fine. Enjoy being beaten to death again and again.
아 이게 인체절이구나.
You're stuck here with us too. For all you know, we'll never get to leave this place until we get it right.
Well, this is just great. let me cut to the chase. Clearly you've already been here.
해설자까지 목소리가 다 똑같은 것 같은데.
Yeah, you think?
Actually, I don't think we have been here. This is all different, isn't it?
That's a good point. Everything here is a little off. Yes, precisely. And if you'd given me 2 seconds to finish my thought, I would have said that. Oh, you're actually letting me talk now. Great. If you've already been here, it means you've seen things you aren't supposed to have seen, and you know things that you aren't supposed to know. This doesn't look like a path in the woods if reality seems distorted.
뭐가 진짜인 거야?
So you knew this could happen. You knew we'd be able to restart like this.
해설자는 원래부터 알았네?
Which is why you should listen to me.
처음부터 말을 해주던가. 왜 모르는 척해 그럼?
That's not really an answer. Look, if the world around you is changing, especially all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the point of no return. Whatever happens next, that's it. There won't be any more do-overs. So you'd better take things seriously.
이게 마지막 분기인가? 자, 내가 오두막으로 가길 원한다면 아는 거 전부 말해.
Can't. Anything I say at this point is far
왜? 설명을 해. 나 설명하면 알아들을 수 있어.
help you do your job.
왜 말을 안 해주고 일을 시키냐?
In fact, I probably shouldn't have even said that. I trust that if you've been here before, it means you know how dangerous she is, and that you know
공주 위험하긴 해.
about her.
많이 위험해.
Really? That's it. That's all we're getting out of you.
Even now you're full of secrets. We're doomed, aren't we?
I get it. You're conflicted. You've been through a lot, but I really have to be firm here. I will tell you one thing, which is that even now you are capable of stopping her and saving.
지금 이길 수 있을까? 공주 지금 완전 대마왕돼 있을 것 같은데.
You always will be.
여기 완전 지옥의 지옥인데.
안 하면 싫어.
문호 템친이 감사합니다. 자, 내가 공주를 죽이지 않고 여기서 아무것도 안 하면 무슨 일이 일어나지?
Have you even been listening? It's the end is what happens.
멸망 안 되잖아, 근데. 저번 세계 멸망 안 했잖아.
Yeah, but is there something after the end? How am I supposed to know? The end means finality. It's not like I can just peek on over to the other side and tell you what it's like there. If there even is a there, it doesn't matter because we're going to win. Now that's exactly the sort of mindset I like to see. Don't let yourself be consumed with self-doubt. Don't flirt with oblivion. Just focus on the present and everything will be absolutely fine.
일단 또 가보긴 하자. 공주는 한번 봐야지. 공주 얼굴 봐야지.
We're all on the same page.
이 오두막만 그대로네. 여기는 막
It isn't long
마인드
before you
플레이어
find yourself
노틸로이드처럼
beyond the
됐는데.
path, staring up at the cabin on the hill. You'll find the princess within, as I'm sure you already know. That's it? No final words of advice? I'd rather not waste any more time. I'm sure that any advice I'd give at this point is something you've already heard. That's fine by me. Let's get moving. I'm itching for a rematch.
오, 뭐야 여기.
There was once an elegance to its construction, carved marble columns
왕 거울이 있는데?
roof, vaulted windows letting in the weak starlight.
이게 오두막이야 근데? 누가 이걸 오두막이라고 불러? 우린 이걸 궁전이라고 부르기로 했어요. 이거 오두막이라고 부르면 곤란해요.
But that is how it was. Now there is a growth that has overtaken it.
이거 설마 다 공주 살인가?
Cracks in the stone walls, and it congeals into chaotic streaks of writhing
가장 어두운
nerves
던전
and
아님?
wet clumps of living.
익명 감사합니다. 여기 다키스트 던전인가?
That's horrible. It doesn't matter. The only furniture of note is a pulsating pedestal. A pristine blade perched.
또 이놈의 단검. 이거 뭐 엄청난 무기인가?
The blade is your implement.
근데 맨 처음에 단검으로 뭐 하려고 해도 못했어. 더 강해졌어 오히려. 안 들고 가나. 거울 봐봐.
You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. Almost as if you don't
해설자
see
자꾸
it.
거짓말해.
You must, because it's right there in front of you. All we see is a damn mirror.
선바님 불 챙겼어요?
Are we really hallucinating?
저 횃불도 안 챙기고 단검도 안 챙길 겁니다.
Let's Let's just smash it and get it over with. I'm ready to get
그래
right.
근력으로
We
부셔.
won't be able to see what's in there if we smash it.
Do whatever you want with it. The mirror isn't real, so how you handle it doesn't matter. Aside from wasting
왜 이렇게 거울을 안
dangerous amounts
보여주냐고.
of time.
내 모습이 어떻길래 도대체. 거울 닦아.
Reach forward and drag your hand across the door leading to the basement.
거울을 닦으면 문이 나오는 거야?
As if on command, it
어째서?
slowly slides open, scraping against the stone floor, its ancient hinges moaning as it reveals the dim path ahead.
Why am I not surprised?
You step forward into the darkness. The stairs leading down to the basement are at once both narrow and grandiose. A high vaulted ceiling stretches up into a gloom beyond your sight, while walls wet with tumorous growths press in uncomfortably at your sides. You feel both unprotected and trapped, at once exposed and claustrophobic. The air is thick, its odor an oppressive violence. The metallic scent of fresh blood twisting with the nauseating
죽일 수 있어?
charred remains.
자비를
Princess lives
베풀
here.
실력이
That was
돼?
probably doing her a favor.
Her voice, a bellowing rage, roars up the stairs.
And so you've returned. Do you intend to cower and hide again? Or have you finally decided to try and kill me?
완전 악의 황제가 된 목소리인데 이거?
I think you'll find it won't be so simple. I've changed. The way your body broke and bled against the walls of this
진짜
temple,
마왕의
it woke
자질이
something
있던
in
그런
you.
공주인가?
That wasn't a fight. It was something worse. I'm something worse.
내가 안 싸워서 이렇게 됐다는
Why
거야?
don't you come down and see what you've made of me?
그래 어디 한번 봅시다.
I don't want to see what we made. Can't we just give up?
살려주세요.
Blade, no blade.
순돌이님 감사합니다.
We can't beat her.
진짜 강해졌는데?
We can. You're just a quitter.
그치 봐야지. 봐야지.
You make your way
보긴
to the
봐야지.
bottom of the stairs. The chamber
오.
walls are painted in blood, a deep, sickening red.
이거 뭐야 이거 심장이 뜯어져 나온 거야 지금?
Corpses that make up its floor. This place reeks of torment, of ripped skin and burning bone.
진짜 끝판왕 비주얼로 변신했네. 근데 항상 한쪽 팔만 이렇게 묶어놨어. 이 묶여있는 게 뭐 의미가 있긴
이분
한가?
머릿속에 달팽이 몇 개 있으신가 본데.
The princess stands in its center, muscles flayed,
죄를
bare and
지었으면
weeping,
벌을 받아야지.
draped in a tattered dress of her own skin.
죄를
Her
지었으면
heart beats from its place in her.
벌을 받아야지.
Do you know
이젠
what
공주가
I'm
아니라
going to
마왕인데.
do to you?
There's not so
오.
much a moment of hesitation before she steps forward. Her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place where metal meets flesh. And then
오! 오!
tears,
오!
and she pulls her red, glistening arm free from her bindings.
아니 손 껍질을 장갑 벗듯이 그냥 찢어서 벗었어. 어?
She is loose.
무서워. 잘못했어요. 잘못했어요. 처음에 죽일 걸. 근데 죽이려다 실패한 건데. 죽이지 말 걸. 그냥 얘 밑으로 들어갈 걸. 같은 괴물인 것 같은데.
What can we even do against someone like her? She has such power, such...
해설자는 다 생각이 있었구나.
그러게 해설자 말 들을 걸.
Stop that. We can win. We just have to lose our fear.
어떻게 이길 건데?
Don't even have a weapon. It doesn't matter. I refuse to go out anyway.
저기 근데 약점이 이렇게 대놓고 있는 보스네. 그죠? 여기만 때리면 되겠는데? 오. 야 맞서 싸우자 이거. 이거 뭐 대화가 통할 것 같은 눈이 아니다 이거. 맞서 싸워.
Still unarmed.
키가 얼마나 큰 거야. 맨날 이렇게 올려다 봐야 돼. 이거 못을 박은 거야?
It's now or never. Let's make it a beautiful blaze of with a horrifying squelch. You are unwound.
뭐 당한 거야 도대체? 이제 주먹질도 안 해주는 거예요? 무슨 스킬로 이걸 터트린 거죠 저를?
I hope you weren't planning on dying. We're going to make this last forever.
약점이 대놓고 있다.
I feel
그만큼 자신 있다는
I've
거지.
never felt cold before.
축대.
와타나가시오.
왜? 뭐야? 그녀의 말대로 당신은 그녀의 손에 죽지 않는다. 뭔가 그녀를 데려가고 그 자리에 뭔가를 남겨뒀다.
She's gone. Where did she go?
나 안 죽었어?
Should we try and find her?
그럼 터진 건 누구야?
And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
자, 거울 들여다봐봐.
There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should.
아니, 거울
Screw the
봐봐.
mirror. We just
아니,
need to
거울 좀
find the princess.
봐봐. 아, 궁금하다고. 너 얼굴
I don't
어떤지.
want to look at us.
거울 봐, 다가가.
I'm begging you, don't do.
자, 무시하고 거울 볼 거야, 나. 난 거울 볼 거야. 난 거울 봐야겠어. 당신은 거울에 다가간다. 거울에 비친 자신을 바라본다. 당신이 손을 뻗자 침묵이 내린다. 모두들 사라졌다. 하지만 거울은 그대로 있다. 거울에 무엇이 있는지 확인할 때다. 뭐? 당신이다. 뭐가 난데? 뭐가 나야? 제대로 뭐 보여주지도 않는데? 당신은 텅 빈 공간에 혼자 서 있다. 고요하다. 여기 그 맨 처음 그 사기네? 오두막에 간다. 아니, 이제 집도 없네. 그냥 이러고 서 있네. 당신은 오두막에 있다. 그녀에게 다가간다.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
이거 꽃꽃 열매 먹었나? 누구랑 얘? 너는 뭐지?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
뭐야? 뭔 소리 하는 거야 지금? 구체적으로 말을 해. 고독한 빛이 뭔 말이야?
Thoughts without connections. A dim and
너
nascent
문과니?
network. I wish to be more.
난 내가 뭔지 모르겠어.
I think that you are like me. We are oceans reduced to shallow creeks.
무슨 말을 하고 싶은 거지? 네가 공주야?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
네가 처음부터 공주였다는 거야? 아니면 네가 공주를 네 일부분으로 만든 거야?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
중요하지. 해설자에 대해 알아?
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
뭔데 도대체 어떻게 되는 거야? 이제 어떻게 되는 거지?
Nothing as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception.
약간 엑소 늑대와
She
미녀
can
나무
make you
같다.
forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
뭔 소리지 도대체? 뭔 소리지? 내가 널 죽일 방법을 찾을까봐 두렵지 않아?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
좋아, 있게 해줘.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
오!
엔딩 많이 모아달라는 말?
다시 이렇게 해가지고
You're on a
아, 알았다.
path
철학과네.
in the woods. And at the end of that
다른
path
선택지로
is a cabin.
해야 되는 건가?
And you're here to slay her.
자, 일단 오두막에 바로 갑시다. 해설자랑 얘기하는 거는 영향가가 없죠?
We're not gonna go ignore.
부디 진상을 밝혀주세요. 그것만이 제
The
소원입니다.
interior of the cabin is almost a blade. Is your
자, 지하 단검 안 들고 그냥 지하실로 갑시다.
the door to the basement? Her voice.
Hello? Is someone there?
이때만 해도 글씨체도 괜찮고 대화가 통해. 이때 얘기를 많이 해야 돼. 이때.
It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
평생 기억 못해 너.
Don't let it fool you. It's all.
세이브 활용 자주 하라는 뜻.
자, 구해주러
How
왔어.
many times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out of here would be before it finally sinks
아니야,
in?
난 탈출시킬 거야.
Wait, really?
엔딩 많으니까 하고 싶은 선택지 많은 분기에선 세이브 활용 추측.
버팅건님
Come
감사합니다.
downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
자, 구해줘
Walk
보자.
down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her
이때만
wrist.
해도 정말 공주 같다. 마지막 맨날 최종 모습만 보다가.
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be of threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end.
자, 족쇄 살펴봐 줄게.
You're only making this more
사슬은
difficult.
양쪽에 있는데 누가 한쪽만 묶어 놓은 거야.
그니까 왜 맨날 한쪽만 묶여 있을까?
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge
눈이 좀
mistake.
무섭긴 한데.
No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall.
그거 힘 주면은 이렇게 뚜둑 뜯기던데요,
They're
공주님?
large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
열쇠가 없다면 다른 좋은 생각 있어?
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
팔을 자른다는 생각이 그렇게 쉬운 건 아닌데?
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could
아,
finally...
팔을 자르려고 하는 게 너무 무섭긴 한데 그만큼 나가고 싶어서 그런 건가?
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top
혹시
of the
자연사할
stairs
생각은
slams
없어?
shut. You hear the click of a lock.
문 누가 잠근 거야? 뭐야? 왜 잠겨?
Is someone else here?
어이, 문 열어.
Shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess.
문은 누가 잠근
You won't
거야?
leave until the
뭐야?
task is done.
다시 내려가.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
여기서 그냥 공주랑 갇혀 있는 건가?
They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's
누가
voice.
가두는 거야?
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her.
풀어주자.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
풀어줬는데 설마 날 또 두드려 패겠어? 난 공주 믿어. 공주, 내가 구해줄게.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains.
씨, 팔을 그냥.
She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal.
이걸 그냥 참아?
No. she didn't.
야 이거 관우도 못 참는데 이거는.
She smiles softly as her gaze
하지만
meets yours,
샹크스
blood from her
하리.
wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like
역시
she's
마왕이
been
될
just
자질을 가지고 있는 건가?
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stairs,
왜 그래, 왜 그래?
Lady steps forward and
아니
raises.
나는 그럴 생각이 없는데 왜 해설자가 막 억지로 죽이게 만드네?
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't
그니까
just do that.
이러면 안 되지.
Watch me.
What are you doing?
아니 이러면 안 되지. 경고한다. 있다. 오 하나 숨겨놨어. 오 원래 이럴 때 무조건인데 하나 숨겨놨네. 경고한다.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't
오
have to do
팔
this,
봐.
right?
Your body lunges forward. The blade
아니 이건 아니지. 해설자야. 해설자야 왜 그래?
But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
저항한다. 하나씩 숨겨놨어요.
Blade. Move the blade.
싫어.
As
싫어.
your body
그
remains
자세
frozen in
나왔다.
stubborn
이기겠다.
resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this.
알아준다. 맞아요, 공주님. 제가 아니에요. 내 안에 또 다른 내가.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade
뺏어간다.
with infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
뭐 나를 죽이려는 건가?
주인공 도플라밍한테 조종당하나?
chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony.
왜 날?
But you aren't dead yet.
공주 왜 나를?
Oh no. I'm so sorry.
아니
내가 죽어.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done.
아니 왜 나한테? 나는 널 살려주려고 열심히 노력하고 있는데.
For her sake. Don't you start
조종당하기
pretending that
고통스럽죠?
dying a painful death is some sort
죽여드릴게요.
of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
공주 어두운 충동 맞다니.
이게 뭐야?
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not. Though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
아니 공주 사이코야. 날 왜 죽이냐고. 공주야.
One last thrust of the knife. Your legs give out.
아니 날 왜 죽이냐고.
Collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive.
사이코 프린세스네.
Princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As
운다.
much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently,
아니,
you
뭘
can't deny the
울어.
reality of what's happened.
꼭 찌를 필요 없는 상황에 칼만 뺏어도 되는 거였잖아.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
소공료로 바뀌었다. 아까 전에는 티플링으로 변했었는데
Path in the woods.
좀 더 착해졌나?
Is a cabin, and in the basement of that cabin is a prince.
내가 이렇게 나쁘게 대하면 점점 강해지고 착하게 대하면 점점 착해지는 그런 느낌인데 지금은.
You're here to slay her.
자 일단 오두막에 바로 가.
A warning. She will lie. If only you knew what you did to us, you villain.
새로운 목소리 등장했어요. 홀린 자.
Excuse me? Forget he said anything. But he is a villain. He made our beloved brutally take our life last time.
He's trying to keep us apart, but he won't be able to withstand. the power
약간
of
공주한테 홀린 자네. 공주와 영웅의 사랑에 심취한 자.
Last time? What are you talking about?
I think he just likes to hear the sound of his own voice. Let's try to ignore him. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead. The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine threaded tapestries. A prison befitting.
아까보단 좀 나은 것 같죠? 돌 그 감옥 같은 데보다는.
wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its
좋아,
edge.
공주 내가 갱생시킨다.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
지금 보니까 공주가 수련의 교관이네. 그죠? 용사가 어떻게 하느냐에 따라 천사도 될 수 있고 악마도 될 수 있는. 자, 단검 가지고 가면 안 되죠? 거울 봐봤자 어차피 안 되겠지?
You walk up to the wall next to the basement. What are you talking about?
거울
You reach
닦으면
forward and rub your hand against the. But there was a mirror a second ago.
And now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
자, 단검 없이 지하실 들어갑니다.
The door to the basement.
오, 이번엔 촛불도 켜져 있는데?
Intricate stairwell.
황금빛 카펫도 깔려 있고.
glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls.
날 반기는 거야?
The basement almost seems welcoming.
분위기가 좋아, 분위기가 좋아.
But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
자꾸 여기서 공주가 어디 살고 있든 죽이는 게 나을 거라고 가스라이팅 계속하네.
Hello? Is someone there?
목소리가 대화 통할 것 같은 목소리로 말해요.
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I think we're in love. Okay, I'm with you that we should be doing whatever we can to save her, but saying we're in love is a bit much, don't you think? We don't even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this fawning.
Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes.
옷이 좀 바뀌었다, 그죠?
There's a heavy chain around her wrist.
눈도 좀 바뀌고 그림체가 좀 바뀌었는데? 옷에 이거 뭐라 그러지? 이거? 이 한 단 더 있는 거. 아, 이거 뭐라 그러지? 이거 뭐, 프릴. 프릴이 하나 생기고 옷에 여기 어깨뽕이 좀 생기고 눈이 좀 순정만화틱하게 변했어요. 아까까지는 좀 이토준지 같은 눈이었는데 이제는 좀 뭔가 순정만화 공주 눈으로 좀 변했어. 오.
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment.
You know she can't hear you, right?
이거는 진짜 자기 안에 다른 인격인가 보다, 그죠?
She may not be able to hear my
데이트한다고
words,
이쁘게 하고
but
나왔는데
surely
크크.
she can hear my spirit.
쇠사슬 데이트하는 거야?
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't.
나의 늠름한 영웅 됐어.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing.
And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way. with the two
영웅이
of
된
you,
거야?
doesn't it?
이렇게 금방 잘 풀린다고?
Waiting for you to come back. You've been here before, haven't you?
That's right, villain. And you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained.
근데 손도 남아있네? 손이 없어졌는데 그건 남아있네요.
Died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. We damned a whole world, but everything reset. Nothing resets, you're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever.
especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you.
아니 얘들아 앞에
This is horrible.
공주 냅두고 지들끼리 겁나 떠드네. 이거 공주 입장에서 혼자 계속 중얼중얼 하는 거잖아.
Horrible for you, maybe, but we've been given another opportunity to sweep her off her feet and treat her like the lady she is. Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are
구해야지.
you sure we want to rescue her?
구해야
We
돼.
never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise. Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
바로 공주를 구한다 할 수 있네? 왜 날 죽였지? 막 이렇게 물어보면 안 돼. 약간 다 변명하지 말고 그냥 아무 말 없이 딱 공주를 구해. 그게 바로 영웅의 자세.
Rescue her? What are you talking about? Did you forget that she's a world-ending monstrosity? And even if you wanted to unleash her onto the world, despite the complete moral disaster that would be, you'd have to get her out of those chains. Good luck with that. Don't you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her out with ease.
아 그냥 빼내면 될 정도야?
No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. If her hand could just slip out of the chains, why hasn't she done it already? Because we've yet to present her with her freedom. I'm not sure I follow. Would you rather believe me, a passionate heart guided by love and my own good nature? Or would you rather
근데 이
believe
홀린 자도
the
좀
shoulder who tells you what you can and
그냥
can't
무조건 믿기에는 좀 애매하긴 한데
I think I'd rather believe in facts. Ah, so you're one of those empiricists. One of us has to be. Then let me show you a brand new truth. Narrator, we courageously step forward.
나레이터!
참해.
Our beloved from her.
명훈님 감사합니다.
No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, you'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? I would if you had a weapon. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought. You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her?
그냥 쏙
Approach
빠져?
the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings.
진짜 그냥 쏙 빠지네?
Shouldn't have worked.
왜 왕관도 쓰고 있어?
I'll be damned. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to.
이렇게
Told you. There's no
진짜
life
그냥
worth
무작정 믿으면 되는
living
그런
for a
거야?
true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh.
으아.
If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved. Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
What do we do now?
자, 우리는 뭐 하고 싶어?
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection, and then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
자, 나가고 싶다면 나가자.
That sounds perfect.
The
그냥 이렇게
princess
나가?
takes your hand. The last hopes of the entire
이제
world
완전
slipping through
달라졌는데요?
your fingers as they
그럼 내
intertwine.
거울도 이제 볼 수 있나?
We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending.
갑자기 그냥 모든 이성을 다 버려 던지고 사랑 짱짱이 이 게임인가?
I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made, and
씻고
this is
왔는데
happening.
공주님
You don't
웃고
have to mope
계시네요.
about it.
아까 주인공 겁나 패대기
I
쳤는데
will mope about it,
because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs hand in hand. Ugh.
뭐야, 진짜 이렇게
Smiling
끝나?
at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs?
뭐 이렇게 손을 이렇게 그 레슬링 힘겨루게 한 것처럼 이렇게 잡아.
Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks.
문 잠겼어.
That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave
또
now.
누구 죽어야 되나 그럼?
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love. Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her. Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you have ever known. Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice. I'm just along for the ride at this point.
자, 내가 문을 열게. 아, 함께 한다면 열 수 있을 거야. 약간 이렇게 가야 될 것 같은데 뭔가? 분위기가? 자, 함께.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
우리 함께라면 열 수 있을 거야.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door together.
야, 사랑의 힘으로 나간다.
And the lock clicks and the door.
이게 열리지, 그치? 사랑의 힘으로 열리지. 아니 이거 동화인데?
I told you our love was insurmountable. You and the princess make your way upstairs and the blade.
여기서 공주를 죽인다고? 아유 개오바지. 그러지 않는다.
You're enjoying this, aren't you? You're taking every opportunity you can to draw out the end of the world and make me
세상 망한다는 거 거짓말이잖아.
hate you.
That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin. And then you step outside.
끝이야?
Happy ending at last.
여기는 3챕터 없나?
We did it. What should we do now?
Where did everything go?
어? 뭐야?
Where did he go?
뭐야?
Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into
진짜 세상 멸망하나?
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
오, 또 가져갔어. 뭐야? 하지만 당신은 외투를 만들어주지 못한다. 영원히. 이제 떠날 시간이다. 기억이 되돌아온다.
Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here?
자, 거울 봐봐. 거울 좀 볼 수 있나 이번엔 좀? 아까보다 좀 더 보이나? 그대로인가? 당신은 성장했다. 얼마나 성장한 거지? 당신은 또 다시 정막에 와 있다. 오두막 가면 이번에는 그 소공녀 상태로 있네.
Flickering lights in empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
뭘 더 해야 되는 거지? 공격해버릴까? 여기서? 공격! 아무 일도 일어나지 않았다.
My roots burrow in an ocean beyond your sight. We cannot harm each other as we are now.
그러면은 나의 스스로의 몸을 파괴해. 오우! 근데 이것도 아무것도 못 느껴?
There's nowhere for you to be but here.
그럼 다시 일단 돌아가.
I await your return, but it will give me time to reflect on. We will meet again.
니코 로빈 구하러 왔어.
미근님 감사합니다. 다시 여기로 또 돌아오나? 다시. 그럼 이제 뭐가 남았지? 내가 할 수 있는 행동이?
In the woods. And at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here to...
죄 공주를 가둬놓았기 때문에 공주가 세상을 끝장내려는 거 아니야?
The mental Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she... And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point.
근데 진짜 공주가 오두막에서 나오면 끝나긴 해.
The world will end, and there is no changing that.
세상을 끝내지 않고 안에서 계속 있어야 되는 건가?
It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
오두막에서 안 나와도
죽여야 만하나?
끝나던데요.
특등이 감사합니다. 일단 또 오두막 가야 돼.
You make your way up the shore. A warning. She will... We're not gonna go... Ignore him. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
거기서 한번 죽여볼까? 공주를 죽인다 여러 개 뜰 때 정하지 않고 한번 죽여보겠습니다.
Blade is your...
뭔가 여러 가지를 다 해봐야 될 것 같네. 그죠?
How many times do...
Wait, really? Come downstairs.
You walk down the stairs.
여기는 똑같죠?
I am begging.
Hi. I hope you brought...
Don't.
자, 족쇄 풀어주고 얘기를 좀 해야 되려나?
Thank you.
You're making a... No. You're doing... They're large and heavy.
I'm guessing you don't have the key.
Maybe it's doubtful.
Maybe there's some way to break the chain. Or if that doesn't work.
If we were stuck.
자, 팔을 자를 때 여기서 다시 도로 내려가고.
Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam.
There's a slight panic.
If I could just...
She barely hesitates because she rips her flesh. It's the... Or you won't like... Against your... You cut. The blade is sharp.
여기가 제일...
She didn't know.
제일 징그러워.
She smiles soft. How is...
Thank you.
No. We won't have it as the print. Wait, watch me.
자, 여기서 한번 저항을 안 하고 공주를 죽인다를 하면
There's no going back now. I'm with you to the end. You bring the blade down to strike at the
그럼 또
princess.
똑같이 돼.
But she's
오!
fast. She ducks to the floor, your blade narrowly grazing her backside. Slaying her won't be easy now that she's free.
We could have gotten out of here together. Were you just lying to me this whole time? I don't know what's come over you. But if I have to kill you, then I'll kill you.
한
Do
손으로
you think I need both of my arms to do that?
한 손으로도 용사를 이길 수 있는 공주면은 이미 공주라기보단 그냥 전투 요원 아니야?
She pounces on you with the same animal ferocity she used to tear through her arm. But you have a weapon. You raise the blade, digging it under her ribs, aiming directly for the heart. It's not enough to stop her. You feel her claws in your throat.
이 공주가 왜 이렇게 세냐고. 무기 있는 용사를 왜 어떻게 이기냐고. 팔도 한쪽 잘렸는데.
You collapse to the floor, your body unresponsive as your blood pools on the ground beneath you. She stares down at your ravaged form, eyes shining in the darkness, dress stained in red as her blood and yours both seep into the fabric. If we're lucky, the wound you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're very lucky, it will kill her before she can reach the outside world. It can't just end like this. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark.
뭐야, 나 죽었어? 공주는 죽었는지 안 죽었는지 모르고? 마녀가 됐네 이번엔. 다른 또 뭐가 됐습니다.
In the woods, you're here to... A warning. She will... Don't worry. You can trust us to get the job
그리고
done.
기회주의자 인격이 생겼어.
The interior of the cabin is a
Yeah.
mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident,
진짜 마녀의 집
just
같아.
happens to resemble a room. The blade is your implement.
자, 일단은 거울 한번 또 봐보고.
Walk up to the what are you talking?
거울은 언제쯤 보여주려나?
And rub your hand against the cabin wall. I
칼
think you know how
가져가자.
ridiculous you look. You take the blade from the shelf. Well, if we're grabbing a weapon, we should probably keep it hidden behind our backs.
That's not actually a bad idea.
자, 마녀가 된 공주 얼마나 강해졌을지.
Revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared.
진짜 완벽한 마녀가 돼버렸네.
Bite.
안녕.
I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path.
화났어.
I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
She must have you confused with someone else. She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any
너도
big
토론을
decisions?
좋아하니?
Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess. Fine, fine. You're the boss. Thank you.
오,
You descend
뒤에
the
또
basement
꼬리가
steps,
났는데?
entering the dark room below.
정체가 뭐야 도대체?
You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
And there you are, one hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade, no doubt.
That's no fair. How would she know that?
So, we've dropped the pretenses.
칼 들고 가지 말 걸 그랬나?
Good.
She's acting like the two of you already know each other. Oh, no. You've already been here, haven't you? That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it. Do you remember us then? Do you remember last time? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us. Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so
죽여야
I'd
돼?
appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground.
이번에
where
죽이지
everyone's
말아보자.
Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than
그럼
they
다시 원래대로 돌아오나?
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
공주를 죽인다. 공주에게 단검을 넘겨보자. 그럼 다시 착하게 돌아오지 않을까? 그런 식으로 하면 계속 착했다가 나빴다가 착했다가 나빴다가 하면은 무한히 이어나가가지고 많은 공주를 만날 수 있지 않을까?
You can't be serious.
Now, hold on. We should put this to a vote.
The blade is one of our most valuable assets. We can't just give it to her. What if she uses it to kill us? I vote no. As do I. Abstain? You abstain? She's going to kill us if we give it to her.
자, 공주에게 단검을 넘긴다.
You're going to get everyone killed. You know that, right? But of course you do.
공주 단금지.
오, 세계이전님 감사합니다.
You toss the blade at the princess's feet.
단단한 공주가 되어라.
She eyes it with suspicion before kneeling down to pick it up.
I wouldn't have done that. Why did you?
You hear a clanging of metal against the dirt
어,
floor.
뭐야.
The chains fall from
오,
the princess's wrist.
손 맨손으로 풀었어. 이 상태로 나가면 괜찮지 않을까? 아까 손을 잘라서 문제였을까?
She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little... A woman after my own heart. It's a shame we just gave her a weapon, because if I were her, I'd use it on us right now. Luckily for us, you're not her. Oh, we sure think alike, though. I can promise you that. Whatever you say next, you better make it count. She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time.
날 죽이러 오는
Till
거니?
you and she are faithful.
What do you think happens now?
날 죽이러 오는 거니? 자, 그건 너한테 달렸어. 우린 모두 겁먹었고 지금 서로를 해치고 있어. 둘 중 한 명이 변화를 만들지 않는다면 영원히 서로를 죽이게 될 거야. 난 그걸 원하지 않아. 우린 더 나아질 수 있어.
Her shoulders tense and her eyes dart away.
This is another trick. You're trying to sow doubt, but it's not going to work on me.
저번에 한번 뒤통수 맞아가지고 의심병이.
She buries the blade in your heart. What? No, come on, that's not right. I told you. This is what she was going to do. Glee dances across her face as you fall to the ground.
I did it. I got you. You.
The princess seems to tremble.
어,
Her smile
공주
fading
뭔가
quickly, replaced with
진짜
concern.
당금질이 되고 있다.
Her nervous eyes glimmer.
후회하죠? 다음 공주는 착해질 거야. 그러면 그 공주는 죽이고. 아 근데 이대로 공주가 나가면은 아니다 그건 상관없어. 아닌데 나가면은 멸망해가지고 완전 트롤 있을 때는데 또.
Why? Why did you let me do this?
But you don't have the strength to respond, nor do you have the time. Everything goes dark, and you die.
아니네 챕터 3이 나오네. 이러고 공주가 안 나갔어?
You're on a path in the woods. I told you not to give her the blade. I told you it would come around to bite us. Yeah, we know. You already got your I told you so's in while we were bleeding out. I just wanted to make sure that everyone here knows that I was and am. Oh, you're far from being on the right side of anything.
이 아저씨 또
You're
왔네.
fixated on the past, whereas what you should be is a visionary. I like it. Tell me more. Gladly, my dear fellow. By cruelly turning on the princess in her moment of vulnerability, we made ourselves an enemy. But by mastering our fear and insecurity and handing over our power, we've begun a journey to something so much deeper. I like journeys. Traveling is a bit of a passion of mine. It makes me so relatable. Now, where are we off to? Well, if we're lucky, it's a journey to love. She hates us. Does she? She hesitated before stabbing us to death. As ridiculous as this guy is, maybe he has a point. I don't know if I necessarily buy into his whole love journey thing, but maybe she won't be as keen to betray us this time. We've already proven to her that we can change. So
자
maybe she'll realize
이번에
that things don't
공주
have to
상태를
end in
보고
violence.
찌를지 말지 생각해 봅시다.
Maybe you're right. In
그래
which
가보자.
case, I'll give what another try exactly? You are aware I've been listening to you, right? It makes no difference if we conspire in the shadows or bear our intentions with open hearts. We are breaking your cruel cycle and whisking her
그리고
away.
풀어주면 무조건 완전 리셋되는 것도 아니네. 그죠? 그럼 무조건 풀어줘야지.
Right. So you've obviously been here before, since you apparently died at least once. Twice, actually. Sure. Twice. Then I'll spare you the little introduction.
자, 또 가보자.
It isn't long before you find yourself... I don't know if you talking about me? Ignore him, he's just talking for talking's sake. My position is the interior of the cabin is hardly an interior
이번에는
at all
가시... 칼이
anymore.
없네?
The ruins merely suggest the shape of the structure that once stood here. Charred wood still reeking of ash.
칼 없는 건 처음인데?
But beneath it lies the fresh smell of spring growth after rain. The promise of new life in the wreckage of the old. The only furniture of note is the crisp shell of what was once a table.
칼이 없어. 칼 없는 건 처음이야.
Wait, this isn't right. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? We gave it to her last time. She can't
아, 갖고 있는 건가? 맨손도 아닌 것 같은데? 공주만 칼 갖고 있나 본데요?
Well, it's not here. And if she has it, let me guess, you want to get all chummy with her. Look, as far as I see it, if it's between him and her, I say we side with the one who has the weapon. It's just the smart thing to do. I wouldn't be so hasty. I'm sure the blade will turn up somewhere. She can't have it. That's not how this is supposed to work. If she does have it, that's all the more reason to put our faith in her. We've already shown her our heart. Now she has to show us hers. Unless her heart tells her to stab us, which doesn't seem unlikely, so yes, I agree. Let's make sure we get on her good side. You step forward and approach the scorched entrance. You know what you have to do. Wipe away. It went away when we touched it last time.
거울 닦으면 사라지죠?
Wave your hand through the hollow entrance leading to the basement. What are you doing?
What are you
Alas, our
doing?
fine features remain unseen. We'll just have to trust that she'll find us beautiful as we are. Well, seems like the only way to go is forward, isn't it? Yes, that's where everything tends to be. Let's just put on a good face and have our wits about us. You step through the frame of scorched wood and make your way into the darkness below. The stairs to the basement are covered in a fine layer of gritty ash. The air still feels warm, as if the fires that ruined this place had only recently been extinguished. Yet fresh shoots of thorny branches are already weaving themselves through the soot-covered earth of the walls around you. Their spines point courteously down towards the basement, so you're able to brush past their jagged points with ease, at least on the way down. These thorns are an expression of her pain. I know it. She's calling out for help.
의미부여해가지고
Her voice,
어떻게든
worn down by pain
공주랑
and
엮으려는 거
suspicion,
웃기네.
hobbles up the stairs.
I can't get away from you, can I? You betray me, I kill you, and you come back.
다시 또 이성이 돌아온 목소리다.
I don't know why you let me do that. I don't know what you want from me.
자, 내려갑시다.
You continue down the basement stairs, brushing past the smooth edges of thorns that grow more and more plentiful as you make your way forward. You step out into what was once a
왜 그러고
vast
있어?
open cavern, now overrun by briars and prickles.
이번에는 저게 아닌데?
The space thick
사슬이
with
아니라
vegetation.
덩쿨에 그냥 얽혀 있는데요.
At the heart of it all, encased in a tight weave of vines, is the princess. Her bloody, trembling hands clutching a pristine blade.
Did you know this was going to happen to me? Are you here to watch me suffer? Are you here to laugh?
그냥 떠나야 돼? 아, 얘는 지금 스스로의 감옥에 갇혀 있다는 상징인 건가? 가시들은? 나는 폭력의 순환을 깨트렸지만 너는 갇혀있고 싶다면 멋대로 해. 그러니까 얘가 이걸 끝내려면은 나만 그렇게 해야 되는 게 아니라 공주도 좀 뭘 해야 되나 보네요. 그죠? 자, 난 폭력의 순환을 깨트렸지만 전 계속 갇혀있고 싶다면 멋대로 해.
Do you really think you can just wash your hands of all of this? Do you really think you can just leave me here?
This is even better than stabbing her. The same reward without any of that nasty effort. It's not even better. Putting off a choice is always worse than making a committed decision, especially when you already know the right answer.
It's even more cruel if you ask me. Leaving an incredible soul like hers to languish forever in pain and alone. How can we bear to live with the guilt?
We'll live with it just fine. Besides, she'll get over it. That's what I'm afraid of. But as you approach the basement stairs, you make a grim realization.
올라가는 길 다 막혔어.
Won't let you leave. We don't have any way to cut through them. Okay, new plan. We re-befriend the princess, get the blade, and all of us leave here together as friends.
You can't leave without me, can you? Isn't that funny? Isn't that so funny? This is perfect, actually. Just you and me rotting down here forever, together.
It's what we deserve after everything we've done.
힘줘야 돼.
Romantic? even. We got our beautiful ending after all, tragic as it may be.
이게 낭만적인 거 맞아? 여기 갇혀가지고 둘 다 죽는 거?
You know, just to make sure things are a little more permanent, I think I'm going to take this particular needle out of the picture.
She wouldn't.
없애려고?
Thorns slice into the princess's hands,
먹으려고?
lacerating what little skin remains as she raises the blade to her mouth.
Take it now before she swallows it out of spite.
이걸 먹으려고? 뭐 그런 것도 할 줄 아니? 자, 아무것도 하지 않아. 먹게 두어라. 이런 거 아무것도 하지 않는다.
You stand in place among the thorns, inert, merely watching as the princess swallows your only way out of this place.
She actually did it. Good for her. Such a decisive.
얘 홀린 자는 그냥 뭘 해도 그냥 아이고 잘한다. 아이고 이쁘다. 아이고 멋있다.
But extremely not good for us.
실제로 칼 삼키기 마술은 기압으로 칼을 삼키는 것이 트릭이다.
김젤리님 감사합니다.
Blood trickles down the corner of her mouth, then flows. She smiles.
There. Isn't this just perfect?
진짜 기압으로 먹은 거야? 아니 칼날은 그렇다 치고 옆에 그 손잡이 거기가 되게 크던데 그거까지? 자 이번에도 성장했을까? 성장했을까? 난 수척해졌어? 전혀 성장하지 못했는데? 오히려 수척해져 버렸는데?
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
뭔 소리야? 다시 돌려보내줘.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
자, 다시 또 돌아왔죠?
You're here.
자,
You make your way up a warning. She will.
We're not going to go through with this, right?
Ignore him. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely.
이번엔 어떻게 하지?
The air is stale and musty.
이번에는 그러면은
Painted in a fine layer.
소공녀까지 가서 소공녀에서 배신해 보자. 너무 잔인한데?
Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
지금 또 새로운
Her voice is don't.
새로운 경우의 수가 떠오르지 않아서 왜 구해주러 와서 선택지가 없지? 안녕.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had.
You walk down the stairs. She's beautiful. I am begging.
또 손목 뜯어먹는 거 또 봐야겠네 그럼. 그 전에 얘기 좀 하자. 뭔가 좀 바뀐 것 같다? 아닌가? 단검을 가져와야 되는데? 소공녀로 갈 수가 없는데? 구해주는 그게 안 되네? 소공녀를 다시 만들 수 없는 건가? 그 상태에서 칼로 찌르는 거가 아직 경우의 수가 남아있는데? 그럼 내가 안 해본 거는 여기서 죽이는 거 해봤고 그냥 가둬두는 거? 그냥 가둬둔다?
That seems like a pretty good compromise.
I don't think I could bear being down here that much longer.
Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
So I'm the only one who liked that idea.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. It would make it easier for both of us if you'd help. But if you don't, I
무서워.
can promise that you'll regret that decision.
글씨체 바뀌었어.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
흑화할 준비 완료. 족쇄 살펴봐서 나가게 해준 다음에 소공료 되려나? 이제 아예 가둬두는 거 한번 해봅시다. 이거 안 해봤잖아, 그죠?
I know you think this is some kind of fair compromise,
글자
but it
빨개지는 거
isn't. No
보니까
one wins here.
L5인가 본데?
어머니 감사합니다.
It's a chance we'll have to take. We can make this work if we just stay here and keep watch. No one has to die.
Where are you going? You can't just leave me here.
손목
Turn
뜯으려나?
your back to the princess.
문 닫히고
Make
손목
your
뜯고
way
오나?
back to the
Fine. Turn your back on me. But it won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Slip these chains. She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction?
이빨로 뼈까지 끊을 수 있어?
I don't think she's bluffing. Either way, she dropped the mask, didn't she? You can still grab the blade and get back down here.
아니 난 공주를 계속 가둘 거야.
It'll be the death of all of us, but fine. We'll do it your. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held.
이게 바리케이트야? 좀비 한 마리만 와도 뚫릴 것 같은데?
Okay, we can make this work. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still
오,
there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself?
벌써 최종 형태로 진화했는데?
It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways. It's probably a good idea to try to get back.
도대체 정체가 뭐야?
Good son.
진짜 수련의 교관이야.
Sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart.
아니 내가 그렇게까지 나쁜 짓 하지도 않았는데 내가 가둔 것도 아니고 난 그냥 들여다보고 그냥 나온 건데 어? 갈기갈기 찢어 죽일 정도로 나빴어 내가?
You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker. No, it doesn't.
그냥 자.
Just ignore her. Maybe the banging and wailing will stop if you just don't pay attention to it. You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can.
이렇게 자면은 그 불안함 뜨는데?
You jolt awake to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped.
뭐야?
And the door to the
이쪽
basement
방향으로 열리는 거면은 문 두드릴 필요도 없었는데?
and the table shoved out of the way.
아니 문이 이쪽 방향으로 당겨서 여는 거였으면 그냥 당긴 다음에 책상 밀면 되잖아. 왜 두드린 거임?
Where is she?
오
Helping
깜짝이야.
me get out of that awful basement.
아니 난 뭐 한 게 없는데요? 그냥 들어가가지고 갇혀있네 하고 나온 게 단데요? 나 아무것도 안 했는데 나한테 왜 그래?
You try and
아니
stop,
귀신이 됐는데?
but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach. Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
공주님 팔이 올라여 계시죠?
One silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you
아니
feel
어떻게 나온 거지 근데 얘?
shutting down one by
팔도 되게 멀쩡하고
Or maybe
아니 카멜레온이 됐어.
you don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
I'd say better luck next.
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry.
이렇게 끝나?
Everything goes dark, and you die.
그냥 냅두면은 잡아먹히는구나. 이제 공포 게임
You're on
돼버렸네.
a path. You're here. Warn. She will lie.
I don't think lying and cheating is a thing. She was very direct with us last time. Or at least she was direct with us after we decided to lock her away.
It doesn't matter. Don't trust anyone.
진짜 L5 걸리네 왔다.
The interior of the cabin is plain. The smooth wood of the walls almost featureless. The only furniture of note is a lone table, knocked on its side in the corner of the room.
이러면 이제 내가
Pristine
뭔가
blade stands between you and the open.
믿음을 주는 액션을 취해도 아무 의미 없을 것 같긴 한데 그래도 한번 또 담금질 해보자. 한번 나쁜 짓 했으니까 그 다음에 목숨 걸고 믿음을 줘보자.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Hold on. What happened to the door?
It's just an empty frame. She's already got out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. Can't you feel her eyes on us?
I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. The princess has not already gotten out. But if you keep getting stuck in your head like this, you're going to struggle to get the job done. So deep breath in, deep breath out. Your task awaits, and only you can do it.
자, 거울은 안 볼 거 알면서도 한 번씩 꼭 봐줘야죠. 자, 10번째 속는 중.
Clearly there was something in there worth investigating if he wants it here.
자, 단검은 안 가져갑니다.
We should have taken the knife. I don't think going down there unarmed is going to do us any favors.
You cross over the threshold and onto a series of isolated steps.
이 눈꺼풀 뭐야 이거?
More eyes, too. You never mention the eyes.
The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning and static, as if you're descending into a place that isn't meant for a creature of flesh and blood. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her cruel and playful voice prances up the stairs.
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I.
그냥 악귀가 돼버렸는데?
Back. She must have you confused with someone else. You really don't remember, do you?
It doesn't matter. We need a game plan. We know we can't just go down there unprepared.
자, 일단 내려갑시다.
You attempt to step off the stairs and into the pitch black surrounding them, but you're stopped by an invisible force.
점프해서 내려간다고 했어? 궁금해서.
Congratulations, you really lucked out. Of all the things that could have happened from stepping into a void, nothing is quite possibly the best outcome you could have gotten. You make your way to the bottom.
뭘 이렇게 한숨을 쉬어 이놈.
As you emerge, you find yourself between two loose rows of white wooden planks suspended in nothingness. A smattering of cobblestones visible against the inky black of the basement mark where the floor should be, forming vague pathways. At what seems to be the end of the room, they diverge in opposite directions, left and right. She could be anywhere, and there's nowhere for us to hide. We're completely exposed.
Are you really not going to comment on how weird this place is?
No, I'm not. Somebody needs to be the voice of reason here, and it certainly isn't you.
Excuse me, I'm being incredibly reasonable. You're the one who's just matter-of-factly describing whatever the hell we're looking at like it's an ordinary basement. We're going to die down here. I don't want to die again.
Please stop saying that. You're only going to make things worse. Just pick a direction and start moving.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter. Because either way you
여기
go,
빨간색
I'm going to
3개가 있고
find you.
여기서 이렇게 눈이 보이는데 어디에 있을까? 오른쪽으로 가죠. 여기 길도 이렇게 있고 여기에 눈이 딱 있으니까. 아 근데 아까 여기 말할 때 여기 3개 이렇게 됐으니까 왼쪽이려나? 왼쪽 가자.
You turn to the left. A faintly outlined path lies before you.
There you
오,
are.
오씨, 오씨 깜짝이야. 뭐야 왜 저래? 왜 이렇게 많이 변했어?
As the princess approaches, your
아
legs
가면을 낀
suddenly
거구나.
go numb. Your arms quickly follow. This is it, isn't it?
It's almost like you want me to get you.
There has to be a way out of this. Think.
눈이 엄청
What
커졌다.
did you do? Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you break.
아니 근데 칼로 찔러 죽이려는 것보다 그냥 두고 나간 게 이렇게까지 화날 일이야? 이렇게까지 귀신 될 일이야? 칼로 싸우고 막 그랬을 때는 오히려 강해져가지고 아주 건강해 보였는데.
Your vision cuts out as your blood begins to coagulate. It's as if every part of your being is coming to a lurching
또 이렇게 한 방에 죽었어?
heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs. Your lungs pull in a desperate gulp of air as your eyes shoot back open. What are you doing? I'm working. Do you want this body to function, or do you want... And then experience stops once more as your body reapproaches. Okay, whatever you were doing, please just start doing it again. You sure about that? Are you sure that's what you want, or do you want to interrupt me some more? You have seconds left.
빨리 또 폐 그거 해. 폐 심장 폐 간 신경 심장 그럼 돌아와?
Again, your eyes shoot open as you gasp for breath.
제가 좀 큰일 하네 그래도.
Can't decide what you want to do, can you? Oh well, standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead. Even if you look ridiculous.
She isn't attacking us. Why? The why doesn't matter. She's already proven her ill intent. Don't lose sight of your mission. And how are we supposed to do that? We don't have a weapon. The way out of here is nowhere to be seen. That isn't my fault. It doesn't matter whose fault it is because fighting her isn't an option right now. Then you should get looking, shouldn't you? Lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart.
악몽이랑 같이 나갈 수도 있네? 아니면 그냥 악몽이랑 같이 남을 수도 있고. 자, 날 괴롭히려면 마음껏 괴롭혀. 또 한번 아니 자꾸 편집증 걸리네 계속. 자, 마음껏 날 괴롭혀라.
Poor deluded thing. Do you think a single moment of bravery changes you into something you're not? I am what I am, and you're always going to be a coward.
그런 거야?
She raises a hand to her mask and you don't get the chance to see what lies beneath.
근데 마지막에 울었어.
Envelops you.
눈물 한 방울.
Like a creeping mold, the complete reality of your existence threads its way through your mind. Birth, death, birth again, decay and bloom, a million stitches from a million microscopic wounds you've inflicted on everyone you've ever met, with every muscle you've moved and every word you've ever spoken. No.
Let me out.
Your existence hurts them.
Let me out.
A lonely soul in a room by itself, weeping. It lives for 80 years and then it's gone.
Let me out.
A reprieve, a good life, love, children, a steady career, recognition from your peers. Here one moment, gone the next. The worms have found their orifices.
Let me out.
Diagnosis. It forgets everything it is. Anger, rage, distance, poverty. The lonely soul is lonely again. Love turns to mockery. It dies. It is reborn. Worse. Lonelier.
Let me out.
No. What's happening to us?
Let me out.
뭐 무슨 일이 일어나고 있는 거야 진짜?
I can't keep going. You can't keep going? Well, what are you talking about?
뭐야?
Oops, I think I broke you. I'll see you soon. You'll know what to do.
나의 육신은 죽는다. 그러나 당신은 살아간다. 뭐야? 뭐야? 깨달음의 순간? 뭐 이제 깨달은 건가?
You're on a path in the... Shit! What the hell was that? Who are we? What are we doing?
There was a princess, I think. It's all so fuzzy. It hurts when I try to remember.
You should know about the princess. At least not
5억년
until I...
버튼 누가 눌렀나요?
You've already
너무
been here,
감사합니다.
haven't you?
I guess it feels so long ago, almost like we've never left. We have to let her out.
No, that's the opposite of what you're here to do. You have to slay her. Slay? We decided not to do that, didn't we? Yeah, we're supposed to let her out. It's really the only way this works out for us. If you think about it, she's the one with power here. Nobody else can do much of anything. No, we were supposed to keep her trapped there forever.
애들 다
We're
모였다.
supposed to be unfeeling. How many times
새로운
do I
목소리 등장. 냉혈의 목소리.
to your heart? We can't be unfeeling. Not when there's so
얘도 처음 보는 애.
There's nothing for us to do.
얘도.
We've already tried everything. We love her, so we have to set her free.
얘가 제일 반가워. 홀린 자.
We love something that hates us, and we love something that hurts us.
To be given an ounce of kindness from something so cruel would be more pure than any other love.
Why are there so many of us? There aren't supposed to be so many of us.
그러니까 왜 이렇게 많아?
This is bad. You need to get a grip. What did you let happen? How many times have you been here?
여기 한 10번은 왔지. 자, 일단은 오두막에 가야겠죠? 이것도 한번 해볼까? 이거 저장 한번 하고 아무것도 안 하기도 해봅시다. 그대로 머무른다.
You do nothing. You can't just do nothing. You have to do something. That's a new one. Huh. Do you think it'll work?
No, nothing ever works.
Boo! You're the worst one. He's not the one who got us into this mess. At least I keep you breathing around her. See? That's why the sad one's the worst. The jumpy one tries. Who cares? All of you just yap about nothing. And that kind of attitude is why you're in the top half. Great. And that's why you're not the top. I want to see what nothing does for us. And right now all of you aren't letting nothing happen.
Hopefully this stuffs all the rest of them someplace quiet. You need me, and you need to not have them.
He'll get you killed by himself. Oh, all of us have gotten all the rest of us killed at one point or another. That's hardly even a concern now. As the little voices bicker amongst themselves, you do your best to stay still in the woods.
아무것도 안 하는 거는 의미가 없네.
And the more time you spend
지들끼리 하도
waiting, the
떠들어가지고.
harder it will be to sharpen your focus when you need it.
I wonder what we look like right now. Are we standing? Sitting? I like to think we have an air of dignity.
My point exactly.
계속해서 아무것도 하지 않아 보자. 한번 아무것도 안 해본 이상 계속해서 아무것도 하지
You
않는다.
have already committed to my completion. You cannot go further astray.
그냥 갈 수밖에 없나? 결국 오두막에 가는 게임이죠.
Rural forest, bumping against unseen trees as you grasp through the darkness for a way forward. But eventually, you do make it to the cabin.
오,
Or
거울.
rather, you make it to the place a cabin should have been. Instead, all you find is an empty hill. No, this isn't right. There's a cabin there. There's always supposed to be a cabin there. Don't ask him about the mirror. He always says he never sees it. He always lies.
거울에 대해서 감추는 이유가
And
뭐야?
he always makes it gone.
그니까.
Stay focused. You still have a job to do, and it's best not to be distracted by fraying thoughts. There is no mirror. You know that.
She's still here, buried deep inside the earth. Just walk up the hill. You always give too much space to the others. It's why you always lose.
자, 거울에게 다가간다.
You walk up the hill, hesitating just beyond the bounds of the cabin. the cabin that isn't there.
You've got to clean the mirror, haven't you? You've got to see what's in it. Smash it to pieces.
She's on the other side, and we have to let her out. It's the only way we can be free.
It's the only way we can have our thoughts back. Just go around it. Just do something. It doesn't matter what. Proceed. Proceed to where? I'm afraid you're going to have to be a little more specific. That's another new one. How do you keep coming up with new things? I hope this works better than nothing did. Of course it'll work. He always makes the best decisions. It's why he gets to make them. And it already has worked.
오,
It's gone. Don't you
거울은
see?
이번에도 못 보고 또
We're one step
칼이
closer to her.
박혀 있어.
The interior of the cabin is much the same as the exterior of the cabin. A dull, fuzzy, dreamlike nothing. It's empty and isolating, but there's just enough vague shape and unknown texture to suggest the structure therein. Wrong. The only object of note is a pristine blade buried in the dirt floor, a hint of its shining edge teasing through the sediment. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right. Take it. It's the only way forward.
아니, 가져가지 않아. 여기 막혀 있어. 단검을 챙긴다. 그것만이 유일한 방법이다. 당신 이미 전부 시도해봤다. 기억나지 않는 건가? 당신은 장검을 주워야 한다. 죽기 싫어. 안 주울 방법 없나? 죽기 싫어. 죽기 싫어. 어쩔 수 없이 주워야 되나?
You reach down to take the
오,
blade, but as you do, the ground beneath it
함정이었죠?
the weapon sinking deep into the earth. You lean over the hole and gaze into the abyss. It is so very deep, deep in the bowels of the earth. You see something staring at you.
깜짝이야.
It fills you with
눈이 커서 좀 덜 무섭다. 눈이 작고 여백이 많았으면 더 무서웠을 것 같아.
It's her. She's watching us. She never stops watching us.
You really are a coward.
With every word she speaks,
올라오는
the
거야?
princess in the pit blinks closer.
거기서 올라오시는 거예요?
When I said that way back when, you know that.
Closer.
I was having some fun, and I guess I wanted to see if I could melt you.
And closer.
아니 여기 동강동왕 열매 먹고 왔어? 여기 안 이어져 있는데? 팔이랑 팔꿈치랑 안 이어져 있는데?
Watching over me forever? That was so brave.
And closer.
But forever is so long. And time erodes everything. Except for me. I've already taken your will, and you're not getting it back. All that's left is for you to take my will and let me out. It'll be so much fun. You and me, together, exploring the world and spreading fear wherever we go.
같이 공포의 듀오가 되자고?
Such as me.
똥 싸는 플라밍고랑 목소리가 비슷한 듯. 크크크.
A witness. I can even make you a little cage if you want. Gilded and everything.
Do something. Do anything that isn't taking her hand.
손을 잡고 공주를 해방하는 것밖에 안 남았는데 또? 당신은 물건이자 도구에 불과하다. 당신은 아주 오래전엔 다른 존재였다. 하지만 그건 정말 당신일까? 아니면 그저 해묵은 추억에 불과할까? 이곳에 다른 결말은 존재하지 않는다. 손을 잡고 공주를 해방해라. 난 근데 원래 해방해 주려고 했어. 난 공주 믿어. 나 홀린 자야 나.
You extend your hand to
난
hers.
공주 믿어.
For all her past cruelties, the moment feels gentle, tender even. I can't believe you just made me say that. I hate you. The motion is difficult at first, as if something still resists your efforts. But then that resistance gives way, and it's over.
제대로 나온 거 맞아?
And that's the end. I wonder what we're going to do next. I didn't think I'd be so
Tired?
지친 공주는 몸을 웅크린다.
Why is it so cold?
또 잡혀가나? 또 잡혀가? 뭐야 도대체 어떻게 되는 거야? 당신은 대답하지 못한다. 영원히 이제 떠날 시간이다. 기억이 되돌아온다.
She's gone. Yeah. I can finally think again. Almost.
That mirror's back. What does that mean for us? I'm sure it'll be whisked away just like her.
Maybe it won't be gone. Things are different now. Doesn't seem like there's much else to do here.
Finally, we can smash it.
Oh, will you stop with the smashing?
What do we say, boys? One last vain attempt to look at ourselves.
그치, 거울의 용도는 그거지.
Like that.
보고 어디 뭐 몸단장하고, 그죠?
Seems we've got a majority.
얼굴 체크하고.
Just to give it a look.
자, 다시 한번 거울 향해 걸어간다. 그것의 비밀과 수수께끼는 아직 풀리지 않았다.
Someone tells me that this is the end of the line. But I don't feel
이게
ready
마지막이야?
about it. I'm ready. It feels okay. The fears gone. I'm done fighting. My heart feels
애들 갑자기 성불하는데요?
the game was always going to end. I'll be free of all of you. I'm ready for the truth. I'm ready to sleep.
I'm just ready to be anywhere that isn't here.
Boys, it's been an honor.
애들 다 성불하는데? 뭐야? 당신은 해체되었다? 뭐가 되고 싶은 거지 도대체? 무엇을 하고 싶은 것이지? 나 팔이 앙상해. 이쪽 팔은 그대로인데 거울에 비친 내 팔은 엄청 앙상해.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I am curious to see what it means for us to know it.
자, 해설자에 대해서 한번 물어봐 볼까요?
No, their minds are empty, existent, but
해설자도 나인 것 같은데? 해설자는 바깥에 사는 존재인 건 맞아? 해설자를 죽이겠다는 말도 할 수 있네. 해설자를 죽여볼까?
if he is anything other than us, he isn't worth the effort to destroy.
처치할 가치도 없어? 다시 또 돌아가야 돼?
The next time I see you, each of us will
이제 다음에 만나면 이제 끝나는 건가? 나 뭘 알아낸 거지? 뭔가 잘
I will
모르겠는데?
be here, waiting.
어우씨. 다시 공주와 영웅.
You're on a path in the wood. You're here to.
다시
You make your way
올라갑니다.
up the shore. A warning. She will lie. We're not going to go through.
알았어.
Ignore him.
알았어.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The blade is.
자, 단검 안 가지고 가. 이제는 진짜 뭔가
Go to the
다른가?
basement. Her voice
Hello?
It's hypnotizing.
Don't let it fool you. It's all.
괜찮은지 보러 왔어. 계속 내려간다.
You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you had a weapon, but you walk down the stairs and lock eyes. She's beautiful. I am begging you to.
Hi. Do you think you can get
그냥 약간 얘기 좀 하자.
okay?
결국 돌아가서 단검을 가져오는 거밖에 안 남았는데? 왜 이렇게 되지? 일단 단검 가져와야 되나 무조건?
Thank you. You turn back to the stairs, intent on retrieving the blade in the cabin.
Where are you going? You can't just leave me here. You'd better hope for your own sake that I don't slip these chains before you make it back
또
down
이렇게
there.
돼?
Slip these chains? She can't.
잠깐만 이거 아까
She has to
봤잖아.
be bluffing, but you rush up to the first floor, grabbing the blade, both yours and the world's only possible salvation. Okay, if we're sure about this decision, I'll support it. I suppose we have a world to save after all. You slowly creep down the basement stairs. Where the princess sat only a moment ago, there's only a severed arm. Its cooling flesh still changing.
이빨로 이걸 뜯어낼 수가 있는 게야?
Is nowhere to be seen.
칼을 들고 갔어야 됐나?
Is it just me? Or did this room get a lot bigger?
자, 저기
Why don't you come closer? I have something to show you.
뭐가 마무리하자.
Eyes
뭘
dart to the corners of the room. Don't
죽이려고?
see her. Where is she? You close the door behind you. Almost magically, its locks immediately click into place. Maybe they'll open if you finish the job.
자, 팔을 봐볼까요?
You step forward to investigate the severed limb. A trail of blood leads from its jagged stump into a dark corner of the basement. And then you hear the quiet patter of feet against the floor, and there's suddenly a weight on your shoulders. The princess tears into you. Her teeth and claws are unnaturally
또
sharp,
싸워?
ripping into your shoulders, digging into your throat. You fall to the ground, the princess eagerly tearing at your flesh. Her ferocity overwhelms you, and as the princess rends flesh from bone, your limp fingers lose their grip on the blade.
다음에 만날 때가 마지막이라 그러지 않았어? 이게 우리의 마지막이야?
Means of defense lying useless beside you. This is the end. I'm afraid it is. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you. Everything goes dark, and you die.
야수는 또 처음 보는 것 같은데?
You're on a path in the wood. You're here.
또 뭐가 계속 있네?
A
봐봐.
warning. She will. Does a cat lie to a cornered mouse when it plays with its freedom?
사냥감의 목소리가 여기 나오는 애구나.
It's nature. I don't see why that matters.
똑같은 거를 연속으로 볼 수는 없는 건가?
She could have gotten out of there whenever she wanted to. We should trust nothing. That's a very roundabout way of saying maybe.
자, 안에 야수가
The
있다고?
interior of the cabin is ruinous and
문이 왜
dilapidated.
이렇게
It feels like no one's
기울은 것
lived here
같지?
for a long time. The blade is.
자, 거울 보면 또 없어지겠죠?
You reach and now it's gone.
거울은 항상 사라지고 난 단검을 가져가지 않아.
Steel claw. I guess we'll just have to trust that we made the right call. It'll still be here if we need it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what's left of an old wooden staircase. It's still sturdy enough that you can make your way down in one piece. The air seeping up from below is oddly warm and wet, as if you're descending into a jungle. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. She growls up the stairs.
I can smell you.
She sounds almost feral, impatient, or maybe eager. You carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way
어디
to
갔어?
the damp earth floor. Of a
이건가? 이
silent
꼬리
pit.
이거 공주 꼴인가?
Walls are obscured by an impenetrable darkness, giving the illusion
갑자기
that
정글이
the
됐는데,
world
여기?
could stretch on forever. The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere. You see only a flash of the princess before she scurries away into the underbrush, dragging her heavy chain behind her. Remember, she's just a princess. She is certainly not just a princess. You're not helping. It doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does. Her shining eyes appear between the leaves, staring hungrily at you from the darkness.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling. You're right to be terrified. I'm so much more than you.
A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you upright. The air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. Move, now.
가만히 있어.
There's a shift in the humid air, and something
오!
lunges from the shadows, her maw unhinged and dripping. Her archie is too quick to outrun, too nimble to outmaneuver, too determined to over.
그냥 먹혔어?
I guess that's it then. Unfortunately for you, no. This isn't it. You are in a dark, caustic place. A thick, fibrous lining constricts
아니
around you.
뭐 고래야? 내장에서 이렇게 살아있을 수가 있어요?
Your hands scrabbling uselessly at your surroundings as they compress in on you. The liquid pooling beneath you starts to seep into your skin. You itch, then sting.
공주가 안 씻고 삼켰어? 좀 씹어주지.
Slow work.
위에 따가운데.
When I killed you, I tried to leave this place, but it wouldn't let me. You belong down there, it screamed at me. The world is better off without you in it.
The flesh around you rumbles as the princess begins to move, her thundering footfalls twisting you helplessly about. Your skin protests as the corrosive liquid sloshes around you, but there will be no respite for you in sight. The burning grows stronger, and you can feel layers of you being peeled away.
But you don't belong down here. You came from somewhere else. You came from out there. So I consumed your dead heart, and I carried it in my throat, and I draped what was left of you on my back, and I threw myself against that door.
She stops, her muscles tensing around you, and through the muffling layers of her flesh, you hear the whine of straining metal. And with a pop, she lurches forward, your body lurching right along with her. Her chains. She's loose.
But even then, it denied me freedom. You cannot fool me by draping yourself in decay. I know your true nature, and it is suffering.
Gravity pulls at you as you're hefted upwards, the distant creaking of ancient wooden steps barely audible over the thudding of the princess's heart.
얘를 배에다가 품고 있으면 나갈 수 있는 건가?
And then it was gone, and I was here. A new enclosure, a nicer cage, but still a prison. I learned from my wounds. You're alive now. We can leave together.
그래서 일부러 이런 덜 씹고 넘긴 이유가 있구나.
Does that work? Could she free herself if we're alive in here? Do you really need me to give you a definitive answer for you to understand that the situation is grim? Stop her. Do something. We don't have steel, but we have tooth and claw. Tear through her before we are her.
먹어서 함께하자. 완전 레이시
홍역
스토커인데.
삽니다. 자, 좋아, 나가도 돼. 쿨하게 보내줘.
Oh, can I?
The click of what you presume to be a door ripples through the layers of suffocating flesh.
That wasn't so hard.
You feel her take another massive step, and then another, and then it's gone quiet, hasn't it?
또 그 붙잡혔나 본데? 그 손들한테? 당신은 주변의 육벽이 휘몰아치는 걸 느낀다. 그리고 축축한 살의 터널이 당신 아무것도 없는 어둠으로 몰아내는 것이 느껴진다.
I guess I don't need you to be a part of me. How lucky for you.
이거 공주야? 이거 공주야?
This place is cold.
또 추워? 아니 뭐야? 아까 마지막이라며. 이번엔 또 어떻게 됐을까? 아무것도 아니라고? 까마귀가 보이는데요? 이게 나야?
I think you know what I am.
까마귀. 뭐야 도대체? 까마귀야. 얘가 이제 해설자인 거야? 난 해설... 넌 뭐야?
Oh, I'm nothing like you. I'm an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him.
Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
뭐 하나 물어볼 때마다 이게 깨지네? 너는 내 공주 죽이기 원하는 이유가
Because
뭐야?
among other things, she is death itself. To rid the world of suffering, to save untold trillions from being lost forever to the cosmic wind, she must be destroyed. And despite how far you've fallen, you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone.
자, 거울 그냥 파괴해버립시다. 질문들이 다 그닥 뭔가 원하는 대답을 얻을 것 같진 않아. 난 충분히 들었어. 당신은 자신이 누군지 이미 알고 있다. 당신은 정막이다. 이제 막 태동하기 시작한 신. 이제 깨어날 시간이다. 이 모든 것이 당신이다. 자, 오두막 진짜 찐막? 자, 여기에 마지막 그릇이 없다. 아무것도 보이지 않는다. 뭐야 이건 또.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see
이게 뭔데?
It's been so long.
이게 최종 형태인가?
Waited for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
이게 무슨 일이 일어나지?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
자유를 쫓아야지. 공주를 죽인다가 또 있네. 이거는 저장하고 두 개 다 해보죠. 공주를 죽이기도 해보자.
Violence has always been our language, hasn't it? If this is what it takes to save you, then so be it. You are devoured. Pray for something bigger than you that stalks and slinks in shadows. Within you are tightly bound and choke on heavy air. But even when dissolved, you gifted me a life. Perhaps it was fear that drove you. Perhaps it was compassion. But the outcome of an act matters more than its intentions. There's a natural order to the cycle of things sustaining things. A world without sustenance is a world without relationships.
공주를 죽인다 해놓고 나는 폭력을 상대하지 않아. 질 것 같으니까. 자기가 이길 수 있을 때는 공주를 죽인다고, 당할 것 같으면 난 폭력을 상대하지 않아.
But violence has defined the flow of everything between us. Do not deny what we are, and do not color our conflict with fear.
There are few things more terrifying than one's own heart, and there is almost nothing more terrifying than sharing it with another. But the most terrifying thing of all is to leave one's heart unshared. You are the only thing like me, and I am the only thing like you. Could you bear the weight of an eternity alone? Do you dare to shape a reality of solitude and thrust it on creation?
자, 계속 덤벼볼까? 세계의 죽음을 막기 위한 거라면 난 고독을 받아들이겠어.
Your certainty is an illusion of passion and reflex. You won't know what solitude truly is unless you sentence yourself to it forever.
A thought is a vine, and some thoughts nurture thorns that bleed the soul, and endless growth that blots your vision and strangles your trust. When I succumbed to myself, you left me to rot, and in your abandonment, the two of us were bound in our suffering together. A painful eternity, but one that is only unceasing if you remove what happens next.
자, 항복은 하지 않아요. 자, 시간이 있었다면 우린 더 나아질 수 있었어.
And there's always time.
Your little
다 나온다.
heart takes stake into your body, and another, and another, and another. Do I miss your heart because I can't stand to see it go? But the stakes meant nothing to you. You had a desire, and you set that desire free. You lifting me and me lifting you, forever and ever and ever. Consumed by true belief, there was nothing that could hold us back.
자, 난 언제나 그 감정을 간직하고 있었어.
Then there's no need for you to fight with Leo. Whenever you're ready, we can leave together, hand in loving hand.
자, 항복하지 않고 끝까지 버텨보겠습니다.
If you need more time to open your eyes, then I will give you all the time in the world.
오우.
Is a person? Is it their body? Is it all of their body? Pluck the eyes, peel the skin, strip the tendons, mince the meat, grind the bones. When it is all gone, do you still have who you started with? A person is not a body. Death is a transformation into something new. It is only bodies that feel it.
누가 봐도 얘가 끝판왕인데 얘를 제일 처음 만났어. 자, 육체가 나의 전부는 아니야. 하지만 난 고통을 느낄 수 있어.
Do you suffer now? Let go of what you think yourself to
공주
be
죽이기라며.
and
공주
exist.
죽이기라며.
꼭 세연이 감사합니다. 갈등이 가라앉은
Still
거야?
committed to my destruction, or has your resolve started to waver?
나는 죽일 거야.
Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. You cannot remove something without removing the relations which define it. To destroy what you perceive as evil is to damn everything you perceive as good.
약간 연기론인데?
Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
자, 나는 공주를 죽인다. 공주를 죽인다. 공주를 죽인다가 여러 개가 많네.
야발 철학과 졸업 필수인가.
자, 근데 죽이는 이유가 넌 네 관점을 나에게 관철시키기 위해 모든 걸 시도했지만 정작 너는 내 관점을 무시하고 있어. 네가 날 바꿀 수 있다고 생각한다면 나 또한 널 바꿀 수 있겠지.
What I offer you is not perspective. It is truth.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't have to do it alone.
죽인다를 눌렀어야 됐나? 아무 말도 하지
There's too
않는다.
many things all at once out here. If you want to get through to her, you need some way to get through all of that divine confidence. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there.
다시 또 오두막하나?
I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready? Then let's go.
뭐야? 또 여기 몇 바퀴 도는 거야?
And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it? Do you need me to describe things?
해설자가 얘가 해설자가 돼버렸는데? 애초에 공주를 죽이러 온 거니까 이번에 단검을 챙겨볼까요? 진짜 마지막
That's
찐막?
probably for the best. It's always seemed to give us more options than not. The stairs. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice?
Have you figured out what you want to do yet, or are you going to keep trying to find a center that doesn't exist?
It sounded just like that. A little sharp, a little menacing. Only she didn't know us. And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
안
And
묶여
there
있네?
you are, knife in hand. It really brings me back. Have you given up on talking? Have you finally decided to kill me?
이러니까 죽이면 안 될 것 같아.
You'll have all of eternity to yourself after this. Why don't we chat a little before I go?
저장했으니까 그냥 문단무용.
So this is it then. Let's see this through.
얀데레덴데레 게임도 그렇고 너 철학과 공주였구나.
So, that's how it is. Whatever world you want to build without me, I hope it works out.
절대 좋은 엔딩은 아닐 것 같아요, 그죠?
Despite our differences, I've always loved you.
칼이 찔렸는데 이렇게 말을 잘한다고? 날 사랑했다고? 눈을 깜빡이자 공주는 사라진다. 남은 것은 당신의 심장 한구석에 자리 잡은 조그맣고 슬픈 약간의 무게뿐이다. 당신과 공주가 탄생하던 순간 둘은 서로의 조각을 서로의 일부분으로 간직했다. 당신이 그녀를 완전히 파괴함으로써 당신은 자신의 일부 또한 파괴했다. 그러나 세계는 멸망하지 않았다. 계속된다.
She's gone. And I don't think she's coming back.
당신은 지하실을 뒤로하고 떠난다. 그리고 계단을 오른다. 오두막을 나선다.
Quiet here.
이제 그냥 허무가 된 거야? 바깥의 숲과 길은 텅 빈 캔버스가 되어 있다. 하지만 뭔가가 더 있다. 당신의 고난이 맺은 열매, 죽음으로부터 해방된 세계이다. 나 자신을 해방할까? 공주는 죽음 그 자체를 의미하는 건가? 고대의 생명체인 당신의 육체가 긴 동면에서 깨어난다. 한땐 존재하는지도 몰랐던 팔과 다리가 느껴진다. 여기 있는 모든 것이 당신이다. 당신은 우주적인 규모의 날개를 느낀다. 그러나 유한한 공간 속에 구겨지고 뒤틀려 고통스럽게 묶여있다. 당신은 세상이 좁혀오는 것을 느낀다. 당신의 무한한 몸을 유한하게 만들려 하고 있다. 당신은 저항한다. 그러나 밀어낼 수 없다.
He's gone. She's gone. No one is left to trap us here but us.
죽음이 사라진 세계에선 결국 생도 의미가 없어지기 때문에 그냥 아무것도 없는 허무의 세계가 된 그런 느낌인데. 자, 나의 새로운 왕국을 목도해볼까? 이건 태양 아니야? 산산이 부서진다. 당신은 자유롭다. 당신의 앞에는 무한한 절대적 현실의 지대가 펼쳐져 있다. 당신의 손을 수없이 피로 물들인 고난의 순환 끝에 당신의 의지로 만들어낸 새로운 절대적 현실이다. 그러나 새로운 세계엔 더 이상 피를 흘릴 일이 없을 것이다.
It's finally over, isn't it? But all of us are still here.
I knew we'd finally see it through. All it takes to be a winner is grit and determination. We really did win. We're the house now. We get to make the rules. This is nice. No more hunting. No more running. Just us. And whatever's out there. Absolute reality. Who would have thought there was really a world outside of us? And who would have thought we'd actually wind up siding with him? The whispering, and the coercion, and the bickering. Everything horrible about being alive has stopped. I could get used to this.
That wasn't very hard at all. Speak for yourself.
Well, boys, how does it feel? We're not just on top of the pecking order, we are the pecking order now. I hope this was all worth it, because I'm personally inconsolable.
홀린 자는 슬프지. 지금 삶과 죽음의 의미가 없어졌어요. 죽음이라는 것 자체가 사라져가지고, 그죠? 살아있다고 할 수도 없는 상태고, 그래서 이제 서열의 꼭대기가 아니라 그냥 얘네가 서열 자체가 돼버렸어. 얘네가 그냥 오직 하나의 시스템이야. 이 세계에 있는.
Forever to get over it. Time mends a lot of things. You'll get better. Here, here, to our vanquished foe. It's good to be back. Now we just have to figure out what to do with ourselves. Forever. No problem. We can do that, yeah?
그래서 이제 5억 년 버튼 눌러버린 거죠.
Yeah. We can do that.
아무것도 끝나지가 않죠. 굉장히 배드엔딩인 것 같은데? 끝. 자, 이럴 줄 알고 저장을 해놨지. 결국 우리가 나아가야 될 것은, 자, 공주랑 같이 삶과 죽음 속에서 힘을 내서 열심히 살아보는 것이겠죠? 제일 최근 저장이 뭐지? 이거? 자, 공주를 죽인다 하지 말고 안 죽인다.
Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final peace lies with you.
나를 해방. 갑자기? 공주의 손을 잡는다. 나의 얼굴은 끝까지 안 보여주나 근데? 일순간 밀리지 않던 장벽이 한꺼번에 부서진다. 삶이 시작이 되는 거죠. 당신 자유롭다. 그녀도 함께한다. 이 절대적인 현실을 표현할 단어도 생각도 존재하지 않는다. 저 무한을 향해 발을 내딛는다. 당신과 그녀는 수천 번의 밤과 수천 번의 낮을 향해 걸어간다. 그 밤과 낮은 수천 번의 밤과 낮을 품고 있다. 당신은 존재한다. 그리고 이해한다. 지금까지 그래왔고 앞으로도 그럴 테다. 당신의 본질은 갈등을 품고 있지만 둘은 결코 떨어지지 않을 것이다. 두려움을 모른 채 살아갈 것이다. 당신과 공주는 마침내 집에 도착했다. 자, 이게 엔딩이군요. 굉장히 또 난해하네요, 그죠? 슬레이더 프린세스. 제가 보니까 공주의 존재는 죽음 그 자체, 죽음이라는 개념 그 자체를 의미하는 것 같아. 그래가지고 공주를 죽이면은, 그러니까 공주가 있으면 세상이 파괴된다는 생각이 죽음이란 게 있기 때문에 우리가 죽잖아요. 그러니까 죽음이란 개념을 없애자라고 한 건데 결국 죽음이란 곧
이거에는
삶이기
여러 가지라고
때문에
맨 처음에 나왔잖아요.
그죠?
그거 다 찾는 게 목적이긴 해요.
그거면은 더 있는 거예요 엔딩이? 아무튼 죽음이라 뭔 말하려고 그랬지? 그러니까 죽음이라는 게 곧 삶이기 때문에 그죠? 여기서 얘가 말한 게 모든 것은 이렇게 연결돼 있고 하나만 뗄 수 없다. 그래서 해설자는 그 개념을 아직 못 깨우쳐서 그냥 죽이라 그러는 것 같고, 죽이면 사실 아무것도 안 남잖아 엔딩이. 공주 죽였을 때 뭐야 아 이게 아까 전에 놀랐다는 그건가? 그래서 결국 죽을 걸 알면서도 나아가야 한다. 그런 엔딩인 것 같습니다.
공주는 데미안인가요?
데미안이요? 데미안이 왜 나오죠? 이거 말고 또 엔딩이 또 있어? 그렇게 막 궁금하진 않아 엔딩이. 풀어줄 수 없어. 그냥 묶어놓는 엔딩 해볼까?
There is no something else. This, what we are.
근데 너무 난해해.
Everything.
난해하다기보다 좀 불분명하게 말해 계속.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't have to do it alone.
이건 또 얘한테 물어보는 거야? 아무 말도 하지 않아 볼까?
She's too many things all at once. There's still a piece of me nestled.
It's time to resume.
She's
싫어.
too bad. We
이거 싫어해도 또 똑같네? 이거 여기서 안 죽일 수 있구나.
here we are. Do you? No blade it is. I'm not sure what we'll be able to do without it, but
여기서 안
Have you
죽이는
figured out
그게
what you
있죠?
sounded just. And down we go.
죽음은
We
곧
shouldn't keep her
삶이고
waiting.
삶은
And
계란이니까
there you are.
죽음은 곧
치카니
계란이.
감사합니다.
So you don't feel like recreating our first meeting detail for detail. Maybe there's still room for us to chat before the final curtain call.
자, 앉아서 얘기해보자. 우리 그냥 떠나는 건 어때?
Do you know where this cabin is? Because I don't. I don't even know what's supposed to be outside other than us. What would even happen if we leave? What would that even mean?
자, 공주의 손을 잡고 떠나보자.
Okay then. Let's leave.
얼굴을 갑자기 왜 붉히는데?
I think I'm gonna stay right here. Whatever you're doing right now, wherever you're going, it feels like it's for just the two of you.
영웅은 여기 남겠다고? 잠깐만, 얘가 영웅이 아니었나? 이것도 목소리니까 결국 그 다른 애들처럼 그냥 하나의 목소리일 뿐이었던 거야? 넌 여기 남아. 영웅이는 여기 남아. 난 공주랑 갈 거야. 자, 손을 맞잡은 채로 당신과 공주는 마지막으로 지하실을 떠난다. 계단을 올라가자. 평소엔 폭력과 위협과 목소리들로 가득했던 공간에 편안한 정적이 흐른다. 하지만 그 정적엔 무언가 힘이 담겨있다. 미지에 대한 기대감이다. 계단의 끝에서 공주가 멈춰선다. 시선은 오두막 문을 향해 고정되어 있다. 그녀의 손이 떨리는 것이 느껴진다. 공주의 짧고 긴 삶들의 여정 속에서 그녀는 처음으로 자신을 확신하지 못한다. 그녀는 더 이상 맡아야 할 역할이 없다. 그럼에도 여전히 그녀는 공주다. 이내 그녀는 문을 향해 나아간다. 들뜬 듯이 당신의 손을 끌어당긴다.
This is it. I have no idea what it's going to be like out there. Not that I'm scared or anything. It's exciting, really. Anything could happen. And if it's bad, then it won't be bad. Not with you.
I love you.
I love you too. But I'm trying not to be sappy about it. Don't make me get all emotional.
이게 진짜 진엔딩에 가까우려나? 끝? 자, 슬레이 더 프린세스 여기까지 하도록 하겠습니다. 지지.